Cinderella. Once there was a beautiful girl named Cinderella. She was sweet and kind, but her stepmother and 2 stepsisters were cruel to her. They made Cinderella do the most unpleasant chores, and they never let her do anything fun. One day, the family was invited to a ball at the king's palace. Cinderella wanted to go, but her stepmother and stepsisters strictly forbade it. They made Cinderella sew fancy party gowns and curl their hair. Then they mocked her as they left for the ball. Cinderella sat down and started to cry. Suddenly, there was a bright flash of light. Out of nowhere, a fairy godmother appeared. "Don't cry, Cinderella," she said. "I saw how poorly you were treated, and I will send you to the ball." "I would love to go, but I don't have a gown," Cinderella said. "My stepmother and stepsisters never give me time to sew anything nice for myself. All I have to wear are these old rags." The fairy godmother smiled and touched Cinderella's ragged dress with her magic wand. Instantly, it changed into a beautiful gown. Then she touched Cinderella's feet with her wand, and she was wearing beautiful glass shoes. "Thank you so much," Cinderella said with amazement. "But how will I get to the ball? My stepmother and stepsisters took the horses and carriage." The fairy godmother saw 6 mice playing near a pumpkin. With a flick of her magic wand, she turned 4 mice into beautiful black horses, and 2 mice into coach drivers. Then, with another tap of her wand, she turned the pumpkin into a beautiful coach. Cinderella jumped into the coach and started towards the palace. "Make sure you are home by midnight," the fairy godmother called out. "The magic only lasts until then." When Cinderella arrived at the palace, everyone at the ball stopped to admire her beauty. No one, not even her family, recognized her. As soon as the prince saw Cinderella, he asked her to dance. "Yes," Cinderella replied joyfully. They started dancing, and soon the prince fell in love with her. Cinderella and the prince danced all night. She was so beautiful that the prince did not want to dance with any other ladies. Suddenly, Cinderella realized it was almost midnight. "I'm sorry, I have to go," she told the prince. Then Cinderella rushed to the carriage. she was running so fast that one of her glass shoes fell off. But Cinderella was in such a hurry that she did not even notice. Cinderella jumped into the carriage and headed for home. Just as the clock struck midnight, she arrived. The coach turned back into a pumpkin. The horses and drivers turned back into mice. And Cinderella's fancy ball gown turned back into rags. When Cinderella's stepmother and stepsisters came home, they could not stop talking about the beautiful lady that danced with the prince all night. They were very jealous, as they hoped to dance with the prince and win his heart. After the ball, the prince was determined to find out who the beautiful lady was. He did not even know her name, but he did have a glass shoe she left behind.
The lady this shoe fits will be the one I marry,
the prince declared. The next day, the prince began the search. He and his servants went all over the kingdom, inviting ladies to try on the glass shoe to see if it fit. Many women that wanted to marry the prince tried to force their foot into the shoe. But the prince could see they were not the lady he fell in love with. Finally, the prince came to Cinderella's house. Her stepmother and stepsisters tried on the shoe, but it would not fit. When Cinderella asked to try on the shoe, her stepmother and stepsisters laughed. "How could you be the one?" her stepmother taunted. "You didn't even go to the ball." But the prince insisted Cinderella trying on the glass shoe. The shoe fit Cinderella's foot perfectly. Suddenly, the prince recognized her. Even though she was wearing rags, the prince knew that Cinderella was the lady in the beautiful gown he had danced with all night. The prince married Cinderella, and they lived happily ever after.